Radio across the county. I'm Ben Stone with Fraser Watson, Gordon Thomas and Tom Dyer getting ready to go through some of the talking points from another busy weekend of sport from across Pembrokeshire. We'll have a full roundup of all the local football, in particular focusing on why it's looking really tight at the bottom of the Division 1 table. We'll also be asking where did things go wrong for Wales against Bosnia last Thursday. We'll look at that game and where Craig Bellamy got it right and wrong during the course of this campaign. Also a huge week for Pembrokeshire boxing with the Croft twins in action in Altrincham on Friday. We'll look at the build up to that and find out what's at stake. And we're talking rugby from the word go this evening. Our guest will be the Narberth flanker Tom Powell. He's with us to talk about that vital win over Brecon at the weekend, but also to celebrate his 150th appearance for the club. We're going to get to Tom in just one sec. That's all on the way on Pure West Sport with Eaton-Evans and Morris Solicitors. Let's do a quick whip round the studio and see how everyone's doing this Monday evening. Gordon, how are you?
I'm very good, Ben. And yourself?
Very good, thank you. Good sporting weekend?
Yeah, I managed to see a little bit of rugby and football at the weekend. I watched Haverfordwest play against Hammond United. They played very well as well, Ben. They played some really 15-man rugby. They were throwing it around and they scored 60 points in the process. Then I nipped to Fishguard to watch a bit of football. Fishguard versus Tenby. If you remember, Fishguard had beaten Tenby 6-3 at their place, and they're down the bottom needing vital points, and Phil Jones was delighted that they squeezed home with a 3-2 victory at Tregroyce.
Excellent stuff, and we're going to get into the football because it is looking quite interesting, especially down the bottom of the Division 1 table. Fraser, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, Ben, over the obviously disappointment of Thursday. I think we were all a bit despondent for 24, 48 hours after that. And BBC duty on the weekend then with covering all 4 Welsh regions and all 4 lost. So in terms of sporting results, I've had a better few days of work, that's for sure, but we're still here, aren't we?
Yeah, indeed. And Tom Dyer was on the Bridge Meadow actually on Saturday lunchtime. Great interview with Tony Pennock. And it was a homegrown talent, wasn't it? He got the winner.
It was, and everyone was really chuffed for him. He's had a few spells of injuries himself, bless him. Came off the bench at half-time, scored the goal, and came off to preserve him for another match. And it was a cracking goal, lifted high into the box. A little bit of a challenge on the keeper, but it got over the line, and that's what matters. Yeah,
important win that. And we're going to get to the football in part 2, but it is rugby first up this Monday evening. And Narberth had a crucial win. We were talking about this game last Monday against Brecon, and we said it was one they simply had to win. They got over the line, and to tell us more about why it was an important win, but also to celebrate 150 games for the club. Really pleased to welcome Tom Powell to the show. Tom, how are you?
Evening, you all okay?
Yeah, we are really good, thank you. And I think we'll come to Saturday's game in just a sec. But firstly, congratulations to you. 150 games for Narberth. What does that mean to you?
Well, thank you. It means a lot, really. It shows how good the club is because every season there's boys meeting milestones. Ashley Sutton got 100th on Saturday as well. And I know Lewis Gibby's getting his 150 this Saturday coming. Right. So, yeah, every year there's boys meeting big milestones for the club. So just show how well the club is run and looks after everyone from there.
And just tell us about your journey. Tell us about your debut and what you remember about that game.
Well, the first game was, I think I was 18 against Cynllundain on a Thursday night at home. Come off the bench. John Dodds was head coach at the time. And then I had a period away, probably 6-7 years. I played for Crumich and then went back then. And I've played Narberth ever since then, really.
And since returning, has that always been the plan? You obviously enjoy playing for Narberth, but to turn out for one team 150 times is some achievement.
Yeah, no, it's really good. So all the boys, the environment's really good one to be in. Everyone gets on, everyone enjoys. It's from in the whole club, so from like the bar staff to the committee, to the old boys that come watch us play every week. Everyone sort of buys in together. It's a real family club. So there's a reason why a lot of boys do stay and play a long time in the club. If you look at like Alex Jenkins, Tom Slater, they were there for 10, 15 years. So it's a real club that everyone wants to play for.
Excellent stuff. Let me go to the guys in the studio. Fraser, you'll know, having played locally, and Gordon as well. It's great to see one player being with the club for so long, and actually, you build up great feelings for that club. And I think it is some achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is, especially in this day and age, where, as you maybe referred to there, Ben, players do tend to move around a lot more, and transfers happen a lot more readily than they used to. And I'm just interested, Dana, you're 34 now, 150 appearances for Narberth, playing a very physical position in the back row. How has your personal training and conditioning changed? How have you had to adapt it over the years? Is the physicality and the training aspect very, very different now from when you first started out at that level?
Yeah, it's a lot more physical now than it was when I first started when I was younger. The younger boys seem to be coming in a lot bigger and stronger, so we'll try and keep up with them. Snowy's the fitness coach from after us, so he keeps, his sessions are really tough. So every Tuesday we have a block of fitness with Snowy. So yeah, all the boys are. I think we are a fit team. It does show in games that fitness is beneficial.
And speaking of fitness, obviously you had to last the pace on Saturday to beat Brecon. Two huge games coming up from you now, isn't it? Newbridge and Llangenech, who are both in and around where you are. Now, there's plenty of games to go. There's plenty of twists to go. But how important is it that you almost give yourself a buffer and give yourself some breathing space by trying to get wins in the next two matches?
Yeah, we kind of set ourselves up for points for blocks. So Guest will give us, say, right, it's a target of now try and get 15 points here over a set amount of games. But Brecon was one, we got 5 there, and then Newbridge and Llangenech are both around us as well. But if you look at the league, everyone seems to be beating everyone at the moment. Llangenech had a good win on Saturday. We've shown we can beat top league. Especially Wanderers won as well. So yeah, I think we just can concentrate on what we can do, win our games, and we'll go from there.
We spoke about the game on the show last week, and obviously you got over the line, didn't you? 27-22. There was a bit of pressure on you to win that game, no doubt about it. And did that feel even more so when you took to the pitch, Tom? Because Brecon were rock bottom, but these games in that division, there's banana skins all over the place, isn't there?
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't our best performance. There's quite a lot of it mistakes. I'm not sure if Ricky's interview's been on yet, but he says. It just shows a positive. You can win and get 5 points when you're playing quite poorly in certain areas. We need to keep pushing through now, get a bit more consistent with our performances to try and get those points. Because like we said, everyone's beating everyone. So it's going to probably go down to the wire at the end of the year.
And Gordon, this is something we've spoken about most weeks, isn't it? That Premiership is a really tough league.
Yeah, there's no easy games from bottom to top, and Tom has played enough at Narberth to realise that every game is going to be a tough one, and they have to be up for it. But what I've noticed over the years, Tom, I don't know if you felt it within the club, there's a lovely community field, as you explained earlier, but there's a lot of boys from Pembrokeshire clubs playing instead of outside the county. Has that made it more gel? Have you gelled a lot better because the boys that you have known in the past now are your teammates? Have you found that?
Yeah, so I think when I first started, there was quite a few to travel from Carmarthen and Llanelli, and that has dropped now. There's more local Pembrokeshire boys. So from each area, really, there's like a lift club. So I've got Lewis Gibby and Jonathan Rogers with me. Sharing lift. We've had Tom Kayaks in the past, Jack Price, Yanto Griffiths. So they're all boys locally, all playing together. And you do build those friendships and you stay mates forever, really. Like Alex Jenkins was there Saturday watching us. He had a week off and he still came back to the club to watch us play.
Yeah, it's important to have that feel, I believe. Playing up the line, you do get that spirit. And when you're in the position you are now, in the bottom end of the table, this is where it's important that mates stick together and get the results that are needed. They'll get that little bit extra. Do you find that?
Yeah, everyone's sort of with each other. Pushing each other through. You can have harsh conversations. Who makes a mistake, the coaches want us to call people out on the pitch like that. But then everyone knows it's for the best of the team. Really, it's not personal. It's just trying to get the win for the club.
Excellent.
Tom, you obviously played in that Championship West winning season when you won the league. Obviously, the structure at the top end of Welsh Amateur Rugby has changed a bit in the last few years. You've got the Championship split now into 2 divisions. You've got the Premiership, which sits below, obviously, the ring-fenced SRC. Just try and outline the difference in standard and difficulty between Championship West and Premiership, and how vital is it and why that you stay in this Premiership league?
The year we had in the Championship was enjoyable, obviously, with the success we had, but there's a clear difference, I'd say, from the teams at the top to the teams at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I think when they restructured, I've watched my brother play a lot in the SRC for Llandudno. There's a lot of boys now would rather play or have dropped down to the Premierships. The teams in Gwent and the Cardiff area are a lot stronger than I'd say they used to be in the past. Because a lot of boys playing, with a lot of ex-professional rugby players playing for the teams like Merthyr and Ponty. It's a tough old league. Like we said, everyone can beat everyone, so we just got to keep focused on that.
And the importance of staying in it, how important that in terms of maybe player recruitment and keeping players as well. Does that make a big difference?
Yeah, 100%. And consistency within a squad. I know Ricky works tirelessly on analysis and everything. I know all the coaches do all week to try and help us on the weekend. I know for recruitment side, he does a lot of work with that as well. So, yeah, but having a consistent squad and the younger boys playing, getting used to the league, will benefit them in the long run and benefit the club as well.
Yeah, interesting. You mentioned Ricky there, and he used his program notes and spoke to KT from Pure West after the game as well. He's going to be leaving the club, isn't he, at the end of the season? I just wondered if you could maybe talk a bit about him. We had him on the show a few weeks ago. Really impressive. Speaks fantastically about the game and about the club as well, Tom. Does that impact the run-in at all, or in a way, does it make you even more determined to stay up for him?
He's literally just texted me now. It's come up on the screen saying, "You better mention me."
Now's your chance.
To be fair, when he told the boys, I think quite a lot of boys were shocked because the hours he puts in is ridiculous. Yeah. He's on the phone all week. I think we get analysis back on the Sunday. By about 9 o'clock Sunday night, he sent me the line out from what we've done wrong, what we've done right. He's analysed the other team already before the week. Like, it's ridiculous amount of hours he does, and with his work as well, the travelling. But I think he's fully focused the rest of the season. He's told the boys that. I think everyone knows the job we need to do in hand now. So it's just about knuckling down and getting on with it and taking each week as it comes.
Fraser.
Yeah, back to your own career, Tom. I'm not asking you to declare intention to reveal anything now, but a lot of players who go on to play for Narberth, and it was not so much now, of course, Whitlam back in the day, will end up at the club they maybe started out to, or their home club, so to speak. I did it myself. I know you mentioned Alex Jenkins there, I think has ended up at Tenby, isn't it? Is now playing very well for them. Is that something you have in mind, or a decision you've made? That do you intend to see your playing career out at Narberth, or is it in your mind to maybe go back to a Crymych or a Pembroke Doctor to finish up there?
Well, wait and see, really. I'm feeling fit at the moment, so we'll keep going. I wouldn't mind getting to 200 games, but we'll see if the body can hold out. I've just come back from an injury. It's my first game back in 10 weeks. So if I can avoid getting injured, touch wood, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm definitely going to play next year, and then we'll go from there then.
Good.
And you mentioned some of Ricky's methods just then as well. Have some of those things, and as the game has changed as well, has that helped in terms of longevity, do you think, Tom?
Yeah, and all the coaches had. So when Liam Gadd was there, the stuff you learn from those, because the game is evolving all the time. So yeah, just got to keep learning from what they tell us in training, and hopefully it can take my career a bit longer.
Excellent stuff. All right. Well, listen,
all you've got to do is learn to duck and dive, Tom. That's all you are in the back row. You don't have to be a hero going into the middle of those rucks or anything. You hang on the fringes and look good by making those tackles on the fringes of the backs coming through. You do a good job doing that.
Get smarter as you get older.
You get smarter as you get older, Tom. That's the way.
Yeah, I'm pushing for every other Tuesday off. So that's
yeah. Just a quick look at that, the run-in then, and you mentioned the kind of the blocks of games to come, and it is interesting, like it happens, doesn't it, with how fixtures are generated, and you've got a cluster of games with teams around you in the division. So having beaten Brecon, Newbridge at home this Saturday, then you go to Llangennec. So these next two are really important, and you've shown at home you can beat anyone. You've beaten Pontypridd at home, haven't you, this season? So does that help a bit?
Yeah. So at home we've been really strong, and away it's been quite part of the season quite frustrating. We'll start well, and then we'll drop off in the middle periods, and then we're chasing the game. We start playing well again at the end, but leave it a little bit too late, really. So yeah, we've got Newbridge at home. I think we beat them at home last year, lost away. Then we got Llangennec. We beat at the start of the year with 14 men for majority of the game. And then again, at the back end of the season in May, we've got Brecon and Newbridge back-to-back again at the end of the year. So, and Llanelli Wanderers. So I think the next 2 games are important. And then the final 3 will be really important as well. So let's just hope it doesn't take it down to that. But Neath have got to come to us as well. So we played up beneath in awful conditions and got a bonus point. If it was, I know it sounds easy, but the game was 10 minutes long. We probably would have won that game because we were on top for that. So there's nothing to be scared about Neath coming down, who I think sitting 3rd or 4th in the league.
And Fraser and Gordon, I don't know if it helps a bit as well, because it does kind of it sets a path, doesn't it? Almost when you're playing sides around you, you can see a clear way that you can survive if you get those results. Does that help focus, do you think?
It will do, yeah. But it also, we're at a phase of the season where it's almost very dangerous for the lower sides. Maybe we saw a bit of that Saturday with Llangennech and Llanelli Wanderers both, who are maybe playing sides who are mid-table towards the end of the season who don't have that lot to play for. It's always the most difficult time to face those fighting at the bottom. So if you are facing them yourselves, you're in control of it, of course. We'll just have to say, Tom, on a different note, I'm afraid your mind's be made up by someone else for next season. It seems Callum Rees has just commented you're playing for Crimmick for the next 2 years.
If he comes out retirement.
Yeah, he didn't mention any negotiating on that either. So.
No. Well, listen, Tom, it is really good to talk to you. Good luck for the rest of the season. 150 games as well. That makes you a Narberth legend, I think. You happy to be described as that?
Far from it. There's a lot better players in play than I have.
I'd like to see where you fit, though, in terms of most appearances for the club. That would be worth digging out. You'll be well up that list. Dan Smith's the top, I think. Hooker, I think he's on 300 plus. Then it's Alex Jenkins. I think George McDonald's dad, he's up there. And I think there's Tom Slater. So I've got a long way to cap them. We'll have to stick around a bit longer yet then. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, good luck for the rest of the season. We're right behind Narberth here at Pure West. Hopefully you can do it again and survive and stay in the Premiership for another season, which would be a brilliant effort. Keep up the great work. Thank you for talking to us tonight, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Excellent stuff. We're going to take a moment and we're going to come back and talk football in part 2 of tonight's show.
Pure West Sports Show, sponsored by Eaton-Evans and